Hi, my name is Olé Ledimo. I'm a founder and a creative director at House of Olé. And I believe that I was born to be a fashion designer. I look at my old photo albums, the pictures, the suits, the tailoring. I believe that my parents saw something in me and they dressed me differently from any other kids. So I grew up painting and doing some art, and I think it was just a matter of time for me to land where I am today, but it's something that I was born with. When I look back to my upbringing and things I used to do, example, painting and sketching and, having every little thing possible that I could put my hands on and sketch something, sort of translate to what I'm doing today. I remember one of my punishments at primary school was to draw the school logo, which they're still using today. I believe that element of my upbringing still shows, because when you look at my garments, art is the first thing that you will see. We are the wearable art at House of Olé, so I think that carried through and sort of took a shape that is commercial and wearable. So for me, when I grew up, I think clothing was a form of identity more than anything, because we grew up in the era of Mapanzola, Ivies, Bombrepa, and I was very clear. I was not a Panzola, I was Ivy. Ivy meaning very posh, polished suits and button up. I've always been that, and I love that. And it gave me the sense of belonging, belong to a certain group, a group of boys that today they'll call metrosexual, meaning, looking after yourself, nice manicured nails and hair. And yeah, so it was sort of that form of identity and a bit of survival as well, because when you belong to a certain group, you get a different treatment and you are easily identifiable. So grew up in the township, you had to belong to a certain group by default, one way or the other. Yeah, when I was creating this collection, it was a bit of mixed emotions. So one of the special things that my grand did before she passed away last year, October, she kept these 2 photo albums for me. And, the first album called Ons Baba captured my birth, my weight, my doctor, my mother, my father's detail. And it was so special in the sense that I didn't know about the album until she was gone. For me, it was very special. And the second album was most of the interviews that I did, the print magazines like Your True Love, GQ, my SS26 Spring Summer 26 collection. It's purely inspired by those images, my childhood, my upbringing, the suits I used to wear, jackets, double-breasted shirts, the color. There's a lot of pink coming out. There's a lot of, different way of styling them. It's just to pay homage and appreciation of the men that they created in me and the style. They sort of had a vision of where I'm going and how I should look like. And I just took that, converted into a business, which is a passion and something that I love. So I'm going back to those old images and reinvent the looks and have my own interpretation to that. It's purely to say thank you to Grace and Elizabeth. And I think it's going to be beautiful. With a touch of art, of course. It's House of Olé.